I am sure sports. You know me there. I'm coach to coach representing. I mean, I say this is righteous representing for Omar. You don't know, come get the sports over here from near and far. Boy. Me say I am sure sports, one thing me sure about. When me say sure, that me not doubt. Come get your sports, get it over here. Come subscribe, repost and share. I am sure sports, one thing me sure about. When me say sure, that me not doubt. Come get your sports, get it over here. Come subscribe, repost and share. If me not sure, that me not say it. Know who score, that me not say it. Never know no game play, that me not say it. If me never seen a game, me not know who play. For your sports news, better come over here so. For your soccer news, then come over here so. If you don't love sports, still come over here. For the day done, you are gonna love over yourself.
So when it comes on to behavior concerning football, Jamaica is decent. I am sure that if we can get all of these things done, set in place by the end of April, it gives us enough time before the World Cup campaign. Not afraid of no Brazil, no Argentina with these crap of players. We are good enough. Remember to like, subscribe, share. Listen, comment. Let me know what your thoughts are.
Picnic Jerk Marinade gives your meats and vegetables authentic Jamaican jerk flavor. The spices are directly from Jamaica. Spices like jerk seasoning, allspice, Scotch bonnet pepper, fresh scallions, thyme, ginger, and garlic. The key ingredients to a great jerk marinade. 0% sugar and low in sodium. You want to try it?
Made up of 18 Jamaican herbs and spices. Add delicious, bold flavor to your next grilling experience. Flavoring sauce, a marinade, basting, condiment, or topping. Trick Nick Jerk Barbecue Sauce.
All right, good morning. Welcome to I Am Sure Sports. I am your host, Mannings man. It's good to be with you today. It's a good day. It is a day that the Lord has made, and we will rejoice and be glad in it. All right, we look to the hills from whence cometh our help. Our help comes from the Lord who has made the heavens and the earth. He keeps us. He never slumbers. He never sleeps. He is a good God. We love him with all our hearts, with all our soul, with all our minds, and with all our strength. And so let God be praised. All right, today is going to be a good day. I just know it. But first, before I even introduce my guest today, one who you know very, very well, let me apologize to you. I was unable to have a show yesterday as I promised, because I did say that I would have had a show, and there was a shirt that I wanted to give away. I did not have the show, so I was not able to give away the shirt, and so for that I offer my humblest apologies to all those who have been waiting. All right, but we have the shirt today to give away to one lucky person who will call in after 30 minutes, and we will ask a question, and if you answer that question accurately, you will get a shirt. All right, it is a shirt for a team in the championship in England. And then tomorrow we will give away a shirt for a club in the Premiership in England. All right, and then we support Mount Pleasant, so we're going to give away a Mount Pleasant shirt next week when they play in the Caribbean Club Championship. They go away to play in Trinidad and Tobago. But I have the man who have all things Concacaf and Caribbean, very versed. He and I had a big battle in some quizzes and questions, and the recent stuff. I will not tell you some of his answers because you'd be very disappointed. If however, people, if you can bribe me, I will tell you some of the errors that the historian Simon Preston got wrong. Right, but you have to bribe with some likes, some super stickers, and some super chat. All right. Mannings man, remember you have my shirt from Pinnock. That's a hero. All right. I don't have a shirt for you from Pinnock. Did not give me a shirt, but when Pinnock comes in the next window, I will certainly remind him that on the interview you had asked for a shirt. So if he does, but I have a shirt that I'll be giving away. So Dr. Hero, will you answer the question? I don't know. Sermon, good morning in Jamaica. How are you doing, sir?
Good morning. I'm doing well, thanks. Good morning to all the viewers as well, wherever they're watching across the globe. Yep, good to see you and hear from you. Hope you're doing well and looking forward to the discussions today. Yeah, perhaps we'll have a conversation if we should share a snippet of that quiz with the viewers. Certainly they would be engaged, but no problem.
Yeah, you know what? I'm going to ask one of the questions from the quiz to the people, but I think it would be rather embarrassing if I were to share some of the answers that the quiz master gave that are wrong. I told Pinnock that you're right, I told him that I have a shirt that I can give you, but I understand that you wear shirts with a couple of X's, and I think these shirts have just L's on them. So I don't know how it's going to work. So that is why I was thinking that you want a shirt with a couple of X's. But Dr. You're not a problem. Let me know how, and then I can work something for you. But Simon, I mean, on immediate in terms of being immediate, today Arnett Gardens play in Trinidad and Tobago against Police.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, today, well, they've only had one game so far in the Concacaf Caribbean Cup. That was against Mount Pleasant before the international break. So it's a situation where they need points. And based on the results that Real Hope had on Tuesday, kind of opened the groups wide open now, because you have a situation where you have Cavalier at the top of the table, 6 points, Real Hope on 4, Mount Pleasant on 3, a victory for Arnett Gardens, and now you're looking at a situation where you could have 4 teams fighting for 2 spots. So that result, kind of opened the groups up to that extent. So yeah, Arnett Gardens, they get into high gear this evening away from home. And yeah, it's a situation where they need points on the board after that result against Mount Pleasant. Still everything up for grabs, still looking forward and hoping for 2 Jamaican clubs to advance to the semi-finals. So that's what I'm looking forward to seeing. But yeah, Arnett Gardens this evening, they have a Jamaica Premier League game under their belt. And so that was Sunday. Well, yeah, now this evening, 7 o'clock Jamaica time, and it will be, I believe, on Flow Sports, so persons are aware, against Police. Police has had 2 games so far. They drew 1-1 against the Asian club, and they lost 4-1 to Cavalier. It was a splendid performance from Cavalier, especially in that second half, when especially Busy came on and had an impact. So that was fantastic, that 4-1 victory. But everything wide open there. And next week, I would say, is a defining week for a lot of the clubs, because you'll have Arnett Gardens against Real Hope next week, and Mount Pleasant against Police next week. So that basically will let us see a bit more of the permutations, what will lie ahead in the October window. But again, 3 Jamaican clubs, happy to have 3 Jamaican clubs this year. And yeah, tonight will be a big indication about what lies ahead. So can't wait. Looking forward to it.
Yeah, you know what? That is important. A lot of people are surprised by Real Hope victory over Cavaliers. But the truth is, they finally got visas. I think they were missing from their first couple of games. I think they played against Arnett, and they played against the team from Trinidad. They had a drawn result.
Yeah.
And for that game, I know that they were missing several players because of visa issues. So they got like players. 10 new players came in. That I think 7 of them started against Cavaliers. Which made a difference. But I understood, I never watched the game, but I understood that Cavaliers had enough opportunities and possibly could have gotten a result. But they lost some players now from their first couple of games, they have lost a couple of experienced players in Irving and Ming, who have now joined Mount Pleasant. And though Shanil Thomas didn't play, that's his name, Shanil.
Thomas, Mobe.
Yeah, he's in Mobile United now. And so I don't know if they are still equipped with the necessary the requisite manpower to do as well as they did last year. I think they're a little bit thin in terms of experience. I don't know how you feel about that, but I just feel like losing so many experienced players in one window is an issue. I think Richard King is probably, and Leng are the two most experienced players they have, and they're in playing in centre back. It's a lot of the guys are players with less than probably 20 games.
I give credit to Ainsworth as well, even though he's 19, he has a fair bit of minutes under his belt, and I do think that he'll mature quite nicely. Yeah, the first half, personally, the Cavalier could have finished off the game, but it is what it is in that sort of aspect of things, and I still expect them to advance to the semi-finals. I understand, when you make a mention about those players not at the club, like the Irvings and the Mings, etc. But I still feel that there's sufficient quality to be able to not only get to the semi-finals, but to qualify for the Concacaf Champions Cup as well. I see a comment from CC Lab. Yes, you with a Haitian passport, yes, you still need a visa to come to Jamaica. And one thing you could say that the Real Hope has in their favor, they're going to remain in Jamaica until October 4. So they're going to be here for another 2.5 weeks thereabouts. So that's one thing they'll have where they'll be synergy together. They're going to be training together. They're going to be on the island for the next couple of weeks. So that's something that's, you could say, in their favor, because all their home games and away matches in the group stage are in Jamaica. So that's one thing in their favor. They have a couple of Venezuelans on their team as well. So yeah, 4 points on the board for them after 2 games. So for them, it is looking up in that aspect of things.
Yeah. Good start to the Premier League as well. A couple of good games. I was impressed with even Racing, though they lost their game. I think they look like the kind of team that will not be relegated, based on how I saw them playing. And also the other newly promoted Chapelton look like they are better equipped this time around than they were the last time in the league to possibly stay up. So I think the battle for the title will be more intense given the quality all around the league, but the relegation scraps and battle will just be as interesting this time around. But good start to the Premier League. Good support, I understood, for most of the games across the league in its first week. And I think it's only going to get better and improve. And I've heard a lot of people say better football as well.
Yeah, very encouraging, seeing how Sunday and Monday went in terms of support and in terms of how the matches panned out. And especially when you look at the clubs that are in CONCACAF as well, they had a couple of games under the belt like Arnett prior to this competition, and certainly impressive against Dunbeholden. So that was good. Of course, Mount Pleasant, 2 games under their belt before taking on Portmore United. So that was also very good as well. And this weekend, we'll get to see Cavalier in action as well. So that's one of the games I'm looking forward to this weekend as well, Cavalier Portmore. And it should be a very enthralling game that lies ahead. Yeah, it's early days. It's the first game, but certainly something to feel encouraged about as we look forward to what lies ahead in this campaign. As you rightfully said, the battles will be interesting, the top 6, what that will look like as well. So I can't wait. I'm looking forward to it very much so.
Yeah. And then also Fraser's Whip, the Jamaican team that qualified for the female version of the club championship. They have been having a torrid time in this competition. They played last night at the National Stadium. I understood also that, just to bring this up, I understood that Cavaliers may be facing a fine. I don't know if the stadium will cover that because there was a lighting issue. With CONCACAF, there are things have to start on time because of TV and all of that, and the fines are pretty hefty. I don't know what would have gone wrong with the towers at the National Stadium, but this light situation is not light on the pockets of the clubs or the team that play when it doesn't work, because Concacaf are stickler for their fines and stuff like that. So I hope there isn't any issue, or there wasn't any issue last night with Fraser's whip in their game against the Mexican team. I believe they played a team from Mexico, Tigres.
Tigres, right? That's right.
Yes, yes, yeah. So, yeah.
Yeah, so basically it was a history-making night because it was the first time a Jamaican club and a Caribbean club are actually hosting a Concacaf Women's Champions Cup game, and the first goal, Fraser's Whip scored their first ever goal through Davia Richards, a national player as well. So that was encouraging to see. As you're fully aware, Mannings, a lot of the clubs in this in the group of Fraser's Whip, they're fully professional, you could say. Some of these are individuals that play for Mexico. Last night we had a player from South Africa, a Spanish international as well, won the World Cup, was on Jamaican soil last night as well in Hermosa. So quite a number of star-studded players. And of course, October 2nd, I believe, the champions of the Women's League, New York, New Jersey, Gotham, will be on Jamaican soil as well. So invaluable experience for these young ladies, honestly, getting the experience to travel and see different places in CONCACAF, and also welcoming these top quality oppositions as well. The hope now is after this group stage format that, you know, they build for next year as well. You want to, okay, well, the first taste of CONCACAF football, let's build next year. Can we get some points on the board? What can we do? So that would be, you know, the step forward from that sort of aspect. But great exposure for the players and the clubs persons across North America will be seeing the words Fraser's Whip will be on their lips and see a different audience as well. So hopefully from there on in now, it means that there'll be more backing, exposure for it, and, you know, more teams, especially on the island, can see what CONCACAF does and the opportunities that it will bring as well. From this
what was the result of the game? What was the end result?
It was 7-1, so Tigres won by 7-1. However, it was the first time that a Jamaican club was scoring in the competition and also hosting a game in the CONCACAF Women's Champions Cup.
Okay, so the other question is, well, not a question, but a suggestion, because this could be also audition for some of the players as well. They could be. So in terms of what you saw, because you were at the game?
I wasn't at the game last night, but I did watch it on the telly though.
Yes.
Yeah, there was a number of national players that were on the field of play. Even Sashana Campbell, who, as we know, went to 2 World Cups for Jamaica. Neville Gale Abel on the park as well. Davia Richards, who scored the goal.
Neville Gale Abel is back in Jamaica because she completed college, or she just, you know?
Yeah. I'm not sure what the education aspect of things have been like, but she was
she was in college. She was in college.
Mm-hmm. Right.
I think she was at Navarro.
Mm-hmm. Correct. Yeah, she was overseas. That is correct. But she has played all the games for Fraser's Whip in this campaign. So that is good. Former national under 17 and under 20 players. So a number of players that have either played for Jamaica at youth level or a few caps at the senior level, especially from those Gold Cup qualifiers last year, they were on the field last night. So yeah, great audition for them as well. And I'm confident at the end of this group stage.
The issue that they're going to have, though, Simon, sorry to cut you, but the issue they are going to have is that when you have a star-studded team like that, playing in the local competition, like, how do they get better when they play in the league in Jamaica? And unless the league itself begins to probably do some of what the JPL clubs are doing, get some players, female players from Trinidad and from Haiti and from St. Lucia to come in and play to strengthen the league, because the quality of the league will not improve Davia or Buckley or Abel or Sashana Campbell, because they are going to be way ahead of all the other teams. So how do they get better? Because you assume that they're probably going to win the competition again, unless the players are sold.
Well, I'm sure Mr. Speed will tell you that Cavalier is going for the title as well. But I do understand the point you're making, absolutely, that is something long-term that should be considered. In the interim, the best, you could say, the short-term aspect is to be sold or getting opportunities to colleges or prep schools in the States. Whether you are going to go professional or you're going to the college route, that is the short-term thing. But long-term, absolutely, you're expanding players from outside of Jamaica. That is how it's going to improve. So I'm sure that is something that the Women's Football Committee will look at, and of course Mr. Speed as well, for future editions of the Jamaica Women's Premier League, for sure.
Yeah, because I'm surprised, like what Jason Boone is saying, that even Davia Richards is back in Jamaica, because I know she has not completed 4 years. Is it that she has given up on her college, or she was in junior college? What is the status? Because I would have also expected by now that a Shanice Buckley would have made a move. But what it does says is right. It's almost suggesting to me that the quality of the league in Jamaica is not at the level to even prepare these players to excel at the collegiate level, which is an indictment on the league itself that we have to consider. Is it a case where maybe we need to look at the franchise idea and probably have 6 franchises on the female side where, like I said, they can bring in players from outside of Jamaica, have the resources to do it, to kind of push the league, because I cannot see how Buckley, a team with Buckley, Campbell, Richards, and Abel, all of these youth players playing against even a Cavaliers and really facing a challenge. When Frasers we play, they drop 8 and 9 and 10 for the most, even in finals. They're very dominant. So I think it is something that some attention needs to be paid to.
Worth considering.
Yeah. All right, so that's on that side. We touch on the JPL now. This is the first time I think both of us are doing a show since the 2 games, the Honduras and the Cuba game. 2 games are coming up. Nicaragua on the 10th. And although I heard one mainstream media saying the game is on the 11th, that would be very difficult for Jamaica to play on the 11th, then travel on the 12th to play on the 14th. So the game is actually on the 10th. The only way it would be changed is if the game on the 14th is changed to the 15th. So the game is actually on the 10th. But kind of, I know there's a little bit of explain the format, because again, it is a Swiss format, right? That they use it. So you don't play every team in your group, which is what I don't think people realize, because depending on who the other teams play, they could play easier team per se than Jamaica faces and end up getting points, because Jamaica doesn't play Trinidad, for example. At no point.
All right.
We will not be playing them in our though they are in our group. And I think French Guyana in the group as well, that Jamaica will not be playing either. So those are the 2 teams we will not be playing. And you only get to play one team twice. And the one team we get to play twice is, I think, probably one of the hardest teams in the group, Honduras. So explain to us, right? Yeah,
it follows that same format like last year's Nations League, where we played Haiti twice, because the team that you play twice is the closest team to you in the Concacaf rankings index. So that is why we're going to play Honduras home and away. And just like with Haiti last year, we played them home and away. Of course, not in Haiti, but it was on neutral soil, because we know it's happening currently in Haiti. So it's similar to that format. So just like last year, we didn't play Cuba and Suriname, who are also in our group. And this year, we're not playing Trinidad or French Guyana, who are also in our group. So we have no control of their results. Absolutely none. All we have to do is win our games, because the October window has a way of defining what November looks like, and even March next year. Because if, for an example, Jamaica were to finish 3rd or 4th in our group, we would have to now start thinking about looking for friendlies in the November window. There wouldn't be a Nations League match for us in November should we finish 3rd or 4th in the group. So that is why this window is incredibly important. What you do now affects the future. So finishing in the top 2 means a Nations League window in November. And that is why it's so important for us. As we know, last Nations League was a qualifier for Copa America. This Nations League is a qualifier for the Gold Cup. And the Gold Cup is next June, right after the 2 World Cup qualifiers we have against the British Virgin Islands and also Guatemala. So another busy 2025 in store for us. One of the most defining years of Jamaican football is 2025, because that's of course when we'll have the climax of World Cup qualifying as well. So I know personally wonder what happens if you finish first, what happens if you finish second in your group. So if Jamaica, for an example, were to finish second in the Nations League group, that means that Jamaica would face either USA or Mexico. If we win our group, that means it means Panama or Canada in the quarterfinals, which of course the quarterfinals is in the November window. And how do you know if it is Canada? How do you know if it is Panama? Well, the reality is this. It comes down again to the Concacaf Rankings Index. As we speak presently, Panama is 4th and Canada is 3rd. So if Jamaica is the best group winner, the better group winner than Costa Rica or Guatemala, then Jamaica would face Panama in the quarterfinals. Let's say Jamaica wins the group, fine, but Costa Rica has more points or a better goal difference than Jamaica. Then we're going back to Canada. So it means a wait and see as well, because we play the 14th against Honduras, and on the 15th is when the other group ends with the Costa Ricas, the Martiniques, the Guatemala. So we would have to wait until Tuesday evening to find out what November looks like for Jamaica.
Yeah, and I think this is why I think it is one of the struggles I have with this format, right? Here's one of the problems I have with the format. So Jamaica can top the group.
Yep.
And Costa Rica top the group, or are going to go to that group, but still we end up playing what we'd call probably Canada, the harder opponent.
Yes, that is possible.
Because but the opponents that they play may be opponents that are probably lower quality than Jamaica based on who they play in the group, which we can check. The point I'm making is that sometimes I feel like there should be some points awarded based on like past qualification, like where you finish in the last Nations League. You know, like in like the seeding for the Champions League in Jamaica, the Schoolboy Champions League, you get points from where you finished last season. So for example, Glenmuir probably comes in with 5 points because not everyone plays the same quality opponent because of how it is. So you could be a better team over the last 3 years, but a team that has more teams in their group or easier team based on where the zone is, end up scoring some 40 and 50 and 30 goals overall. And you only manage like 6 goals because you're a tougher opponent. I think this is the issue I have with it. So the recent ranking, for example, has Mexico at 17. And this is a FIFA ranking, which is different from the Concacaf ranking.
Exactly.
So which one do they use? Do they use the FIFA rankings or do they use the Concacaf ranking? Because the FIFA ranking has Panama in 3rd at 37 and Canada in 4th at 38. Costa Rica is at 50, and this is up to September 19, which is today, and Jamaica are 61st, right? That is the present ranking. What is the Concacaf ranking? Because that is different from the FIFA ranking sometimes. And which one of the rankings do they use?
Yeah, so for the Concacaf Nations League, it is the Concacaf Rankings Index that is used. For World Cup qualifiers, when we decided we were the group with Dominica and DomRep and BVI, it was the FIFA rankings that were used. So when it comes to World Cup qualifying, FIFA rankings are used for seedings. Nations League, Gold Cup, Concacaf Ranking Index. And the seedings that were used for Nations League was based on March 2024 ranking, when at the time Jamaica was 5th in CONCACAF. As I've always said, especially on the Reggae Boys commentary, what you do in the past affects the present. So drawing or losing to a team that is below you means that you lose some points. So that is why it's very imperative, especially the teams that are in or around us, to get those maximum points when you play against those teams.
All right, so let me give you an example, because in League A, there are 2 groups, right? So correct. Presently, both groups are at like what we would say the better teams are in the same position, which is Costa Rica are on 4 points, Guatemala on 4. You assume that they are possibly the two better teams in that group. You have Suriname, Guadeloupe, Guyana, and Martinique. Martinique, I think, are going to struggle because they're even having some struggles in the society. Over there, they're having some issues. Jamaica, you'd want to believe that Honduras is ahead of Nicaragua, but I don't think Honduras and Nicaragua actually plays.
No. So,
you see what I mean? So Nicaragua could actually go through over Honduras.
They could depending
because on who plays who. So now, the goal difference has 3 for Costa Rica.
Yep.
Jamaica has 1.
Exactly.
Yes, what I mean, Guatemala has 2. So as it stands, if it were to stop right now, Costa Rica would end up playing Panama, and Jamaica would end up playing Canada.
Right.
As it stands, I think that the opponent that Jamaica face, because I feel like we have played tougher opponents. Because when you look at the ranking, let's look at the ranking. Where is Nicaragua? Where is Guatemala on the ranking compared to? Let me just give. I'm using the FIFA ranking, so it may be flawed. So Guatemala is actually at 107.
Correct.
Honduras is 77.
Right.
Nicaragua is 131. Trinidad is 101.
Yes.
I mean, in our group, Cuba is 165, which is they're one of the lower ranked team in the group at 165. So I feel like the Jamaica group is tougher than the other group, but which means that we may still win the group, but end up facing a Canada, which I believe is a harder opponent.
Indeed. Yep, that is a strong possibility. It could mean a night in Toronto again. That's a strong, very, very strong possibility. Yeah. So you have to think not only about points, but goal difference. But of course, you want to get the 10 points on the board first. We're not in control at all. Anything that happens in Group A, we can only hope, but we can't control what Guatemala or Costa Rica does. Yeah. Just do our best to get the 10 points on the board, and then we'll see what happens.
And some people are saying that we have ourselves to be blamed because the expectation was that Jamaica should have defeated Cuba. We should have known. I mean, the best bet in this is to always win all your games. You win all your games, you're good to go. But they said Cuba, Cuba also drew with Nicaragua, who will play next. So yeah.
And Guatemala and Costa Rica cannot get to 12 points. Just like Jamaica, the most they can get to is 10 points. And what's going to happen is Costa Rica is going to play Guatemala again. So both teams cannot get to 10 points. So
there you go. Which ideally what you want is for that game to be drawn as well.
Ideally, yes.
Like from a Jamaican perspective, it would benefit us if that game is a drawn game.
Absolutely, yeah. Because
if that happens and we win both of our games, we end up facing Panama.
Exactly. And that's what November looks like for us with Jamaica, Panama, and Costa Rica, Canada, for an example, or Guatemala, Canada. We'll see how that pans.
The other thing I'd love to, and so people, like, it's past this 30 minutes mark. So if you would like to win a shirt, of course, it is not signed by the player, but I could actually get the player to sign it, right? You call into the program and we will ask you a question. Now, if the person gets the question wrong, I'm going to give you a time, because what I don't want you to do is to Google the answer. Oh, geez.
Yeah, ask the question already.
All right. And listen, you have to call on WhatsApp. All right. Please call on WhatsApp. You have to call on WhatsApp. If you don't call on WhatsApp, you don't stand a chance. Right? So if the question is answered incorrectly, we will pose a different question. And once I ask the question, I'm going to start counting. And if I go to 5 and you don't answer, it is gone. I don't want you to Google the answer. All right? And I don't want you to ask me, where you say Mannings, man? Me never hear you. Repeat the question again. All right? I'm going to make sure you see all of these things because I know you're smart people, you know. But in the meantime, remember to hit the like button, subscribe, and to share. All right, Simon. Yeah.
Yeah. So you have a question ready for them?
Oh, we have a caller here. Caller, welcome to the show. Good afternoon.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Oh, your pronunciation is what? Biru?
Yeah, Bureau.
Biru. So you're calling in for to answer the question?
Yeah, me win already, but it come like, and give me.
You win already? How you win already? I'm gonna ask the question yet.
Go on.
Remind me what you win. I don't know.
Make sure it's easy.
So Simon asked this question at our
Simon.
No, man. Simon asked this question at our camp, right? So here is the question to you. Are you hearing me clearly?
Yeah, I'm good.
Because I will not be able to repeat. Are you in front of your computer or your tablet?
I'm going to open it up right now.
So you're going to type in the question so you can get the good answer and go. All right. So I have to ask you, which Jamaican player has played the most games in the Premier League in England? Which Jamaican international?
Currently
No,
playing?
currently or past. A Jamaican international. He has the most game as a Jamaican international in the Premier League. 5, 4. No, your answer incorrect, man. Jaja is not the answer.
That's the answer.
I know. 5.
I could guess it still, I'm not sure. But Antonio? Probably wrong, but still make a guess.
Yeah, it's not Antonio.
But let's try still. We never know.
All right. Should I give them the answer for that one?
I would say,
Simon, and
I like to know still.
yeah, go ahead.
Or keep the question. What you saying? Or somebody go and Google it. All right, so let's give the call.
You want to use it again?
I feel like somebody go give them the answer, Simon.
With 288 appearances, it's Frank Sinclair. 288 Premier League appearances.
Frank Sinclair, man.
Yep. Mikel Antonio.
200 and how much? 200 and how much?
288 games in the Premier League.
288 games in the Premier League. So Frank Sinclair.
How much Antonio have now?
In the Premier League, not as much, man.
258. Antonio is third in the list.
Antonio should be.
Antonio is actually third.
Antonio's third.
Frank Sinclair is first, and I think who is second, Simon?
Jason Ewell. Jason Ewell is second.
Jason Ewell, and then it is Antonio.
Yeah.
All right, cool. I'm learning something today.
All right. There you go. All right, so let's see if we can take the next one, and then we'll come to. Yeah, man, bless up. All right.
Next time. Bless you.
All right, let's see. I see we have a next caller trying to call in. Simon, you want to ask the next question?
All right, sure.
All right, so let's take this call and then you can't talk about same answer the question. You have so many wrong answers. You have West Morgan.
Exactly.
Caller, welcome to the show. Good afternoon, CC.
Yeah, good afternoon.
Yeah, you're calling to answer a question?
Yeah, but I'm probably get it wrong too. What is?
All right. So, Simon, you want to ask this question? No, easy question, Simon.
No easy question. Okay, no problem.
No, man, you have to give me some of them questions without bust me brain at the camp,
All right.
Go ahead.
Who's the only Reggae Boys goalkeeper to score an international goal?
who is the only Reggae Boys goalkeeper to score an international goal.
Yeah.
CC.
So obviously it's Jamaica.
Here, Lawrence.
Man, go
Aaron, Aaron Lawrence.
Man, Google it.
Yeah.
Man, Google it.
I'm going Google, man. I tell you. So I'm going Google.
No, man, me no Google, man. You don't rate me.
Simon, you made it ask the question, him couldn't get it, you know.
That's true.
Him couldn't get it, him ask the question. Aaron Lawrence is answering.
No, man, you know, say, actually today I did a video where I was looking back.
No, if me ask the question, you couldn't get it. You want to know what? You know what my question is?
What is your question?
All right. Which player has the most caps for Jamaica?
Ian Pepe Goodison, bro. You don't know this? A fact.
How many caps does he have for Jamaica?
128. 128.
All right, boss.
So Aaron Lawrence goal. Who did it come against? Which team?
No, we're not challenging. So people, let me show you. Where's the shirt? Like, hold on, Simon, go and tell. Let me find the shirt.
Oh, tell them. Okay. Well, you know what happens in the early 2000s when you have the captain's armband, you're the one that takes the penalties. And in 2003, what happened was Jamaica won a penalty. And the captain stepped forward, and the captain, Aaron Lawrence, scored in a friendly match, a 3-0 win over India in London in 2003, 21 years ago. Lawrence. So no RR in the own goal.
Question though, is it Damian Lowe has the most caps currently as a Reggae Boy player?
No, Andre Blake.
Lowe has 70. How much Blake has?
Blake has 77 presently.
Oh.
See it, boss? So we'll work out. If you want the player to sign it, you can get it signed in October. And you pick it up at the game and take a picture with the player. You understand me?
Yeah, man. Respect.
All right. Or anything else?
Yeah, I would want the player to sign it.
All right.
Yeah.
So we'll work on that. All right. So that's the question for today. Tomorrow we'll have a next question for our next shirt giveaway. All right. Sorry about that. Very good try, but you know, Simon gives CC the one the easy question. It's a friend thing. Understand me? I don't know what kind of baby question that was by Simon. You understand me? Yeah.
Jaja, we'll give you my next card.
Oh, yeah, CC, but CC, somebody's saying that how you gonna get this jersey and if you don't rate the player?
He has to drive to Senton to pick it up.
Oh, you know what, CC, it's true. We can't give CC the jersey because they're saying that if a person is a vlogger, they should not be allowed to participate. So if you agree with that, people, just put up a thumbs up. So if I get 10 people to agree that vloggers should not participate and win the prizes, then put up 10 thumbs up, and then we'll ask a different question for a different person to win this shirt, and don't give it to CC. Yeah. All right. Yeah. So I think Simon, like as we were discussing with the so that's one. There you go.
No massage. 1, 2, 3, 4. 6 to go.
What Robbie said. Thanks, Rob, for the super. I think Rob gave us a super. He says, tell the people I got it right. Where is my
Kia?
My Kia jersey?
You have a Kia jersey for him?
What? Who is my Kia?
6 thumbs up, 4 to go.
Oh, but Dre, anyway, I've 10 already. See, the people are saying that you should not have been allowed to participate, though. That is the thing. It should not be a rule, though.
CC gets a meter pass.
All right. So CC, they are saying that CC, you should not have been allowed to participate because you're a vlogger. So you would have to come on and justify why the people are wrong. Or maybe we should make the rule.
Yeah, it's your thought. It's up to you how you want to. I mean, that just means that the regular viewer or caller, they're the only ones that get an opportunity.
That is what we should do for real. Maybe we should do it going ahead. So only regular viewers are and callers. If you are a vlogger, you will. I think so. CC, so do you want us to ask a different question, CC, to someone else, or you should get the jersey? Let me know, and then you decide, CC. Because if because I have a next question that I could ask. No. Yeah. But CC can get pass some other way. But Simon, CC calling back. Hold on.
Oh no.
All right. So let's hear this and then we move on to some other discussion. Oh, CC, the man must say we should give you a JPL jersey, a Portmore jersey.
No.
Because you don't rate Lattibody here.
I mean, understand. Why would I not rate the player? Like,
that's what the people are saying.
No, sir. I personally wanted the player to play centre back or right back, but that is just a personal opinion. That have nothing to do with rating the player.
All right.
I just feel like he's a better defender than midfielder. But that's a different thing, though.
Yeah, but you'll get the shirt, man. Don't worry yourself.
Well,
we're gonna make it a rule. We're gonna make it a rule after this, though. But I think it's a good rule. The only bad thing is it come to Man City Academy, you know. Oh yeah, Lattibody here. Yeah. So how did your team? How did your team Portmore look on Sunday against Mount Pleasant, sir?
Portmore.
Oh, Portmore.
My team winning out, Mannings, man.
Which team is your team now?
That's Chapperton Maroons, man.
Oh, so Chapperton is your team now. So last season, who was your team?
Yes, Mount Pleasant.
So so every year you have a different team?
No, Chapperton is where I come from. So Chapperton, remember I go Clarendon College. Chapperton where I come from. So I support Chapperton Maroons. But they've never in the league last year, and Mount Pleasant, I did more favorable to Mount Pleasant, you know. So I did see some players I play for the team. But I never really have like a team per se in the league before. I've never really had a team in the Jamaica Premier League or Red Stripe Premier League. I whenever whatever I did name. I just watch the football. So I support any team and just go to games them and watch the football, but I don't really have a team per se.
So did you watch a Chapperton game?
Yeah, I watched the Chapperton versus Arborview game. I went to the Arnett Gardens game in person, and I went to the Portmore Mount Pleasant game in person.
Okay. So of the three games that you watched live, which one you thought was the better quality game?
I would say in quality game, I would say the better quality game had to be Mount Pleasant and Portmore. I think, based on the fact that I think Dunby Walling versus Arnett, Dunby Walling look like they should be playing in Tier 2.
What?
No disrespect, but
what?
They don't. Yeah, man. They midfield. They have a good midfield, but their backline, their backline in the game was left wanting. If Arnett was more clinical on the night, they could have got 7. And I don't think like at this level you should be picking up 7. You understand? So the being said, and I think Mount Pleasant and Portmore, I think Portmore can understand the situation with the immediate coach change and the limited time some of the players came in and stuff, and then Mount Pleasant would have already been playing football. So you know they have a little bit more much sharpness to them. So I think they looked very well on the day. And then Chapperton Maroons, I think Chapperton Maroons look pretty decent. They're putting on the ball, moving it around, and they look pretty decent. Arborview is a bit shell-shocked for me in terms of how you see they're playing at the moment. So, unpopular opinion, management, I think Dunby Walling and Arborview will be in the relegation battle. And I think Chapperton Maroons is a surprise for the playoffs.
Really? Wow.
Yeah, man, I think Chapperton Maroons might surprise people and make a playoff run.
So you don't think Mobile United? I think Mobile United going to be in the playoff.
No man, let me tell you. All right, let me tell you my playoff teams. Mobile, Mount Pleasant. I have Mobile, Mount Pleasant, Cavaliers. Even though Cavaliers kind of a bit depleted. Arnett, and then I think Waterhouse and Chapelton.
What? So no Portmore?
I think Portmore. Yeah. I mean, those. I think Portmore is Portmore team seems pretty young, and they look like it's 39 games, and they could be on track to get in there. But I think the sixth spot, as I said, 4 of those teams for me is solid. Arnett, Mount Pleasant, Cavaliers, and Arnett, Mount Pleasant, Cavaliers. And how many did mention? Mobile United. Those four teams for me.
So what about Veer Phoenix? What about Veer Phoenix? When they get the 15 players?
Not this season, man. Not this season.
Okay.
I think this season is not going to be that time for them. I think the next 2 places are going to be between Waterhouse, Portmore, Chapelton. Those teams are going to fight for that 5th seed. And I think with Tivoli, they lost. Like for me, when I look at the transfers that went on at some of the other clubs, especially these clubs like the Mobile, the Mount Pleasant, I think you can look at Cavaliers depleted, yes, but Cavaliers is coming back as a champion team. So you have to kind of give them that, and they have been consistent over the past 3 seasons, right? So you have to pretty much look at that. Waterhouse have made some good transfers coming in. I think even acquiring the Junior McGregor and
Junior McGregor, who stopped playing football and was playing sound system, start playing back football. You think he's going to make a difference? You really think he's going to make a difference in the league? If he really makes a big difference at Waterhouse, our league is a joke league. That a man could take so many years off from football to go select sound and come back in and come.
It not take some, I know only for years, man.
It's how many years? Which one season? One
is, man, I could at not 2 seasons ago, I see him score a couple of free kicks.
He has not been playing for 2 seasons.
Remember 39 giving a man and say kind of need squad depth, you know. So I think he add to the squad depth.
You really believe so?
You understand? Okay, yeah, man, I think he add to the squad depth, man. But you say it's a joke league, but then you have another man at take about 6 years off and come back at Veer Phoenix. One next musician, producer. but man, as I said before though, I think those 4 teams, what I mentioned earlier, look solid, and I think the other 2 teams now, the other 2 spots, it's kind of tricky. It's kind of tricky.
Somebody said that he was playing tier 2. I didn't even know that he was playing tier 2.
Yeah.
I didn't even know
well,
that's Junior McGregor. Okay.
Racing United look decent in terms of giving a decent account of themselves. But the problem I think Racing will have is that the person who will put the ball in the back of the net. You understand? I think even like Waterhouse, I think something they could have scored 4 goals the other night if him actually did. And if him not sharp enough. I don't think he's as sharp as yet. And the league are go on at a far right, Bygrave. I think Bygrave might end up scoring 20 goals for Waterhouse if he's fit for the entire season.
Has Bygrave ever scored 20 goals in the league?
Have him ever scored 20 goals in the league?
Yes.
There's never been 39 games in the league.
So what that have to do with anything?
His goal scoring was proportionate.
He has played 39 games because he has gone right up to the finals before, including the playoffs and things. And he never scored 20. So what makes you believe that he's going to score 20? What have you seen from him to make you believe that he's going to hit 20 goals?
All right, the other night that I saw in the game, right? Man, if they continue to play like that, he will get multiple opportunities and he just need to work on his sharpness. He should have 4 goals against Racing already.
But that is the point, though, CC. He's playing against a promoted team. He should have had 4 goals. He only had 1. What would make you believe that he's going to score those goals against the better teams or even have so many opportunities? Duclan agree with you that he thinks he can score 20 goals. We will see.
Yeah, I think when you look on his positioning and that awareness in and around the box, so them say he has this ability. I don't want to compare him to like a Premier League player in terms of Sterling and them guys, but he has an ability where he is in the right place at the right time when an opportunity falls.
Except when he's playing for Mount Pleasant.
If Waterhouse have 3 goal scoring opportunity, it's a possibility that 2 out of the 3 he will be there.
So what will happen when Waterhouse #1 striker returns? The man who scored the most goals for them last season. Do they start both of them, or do they start Bygrave over him? Because he's going to come back.
I think they start both.
Brian?
I think they start both of them.
Okay.
If it was me, I would start. I think they start both of them, man. I think they start both of them.
Okay.
But, I mean, as I said before, it's early days in the league. 39 games is a lot of games. And it's going to be a what do you call it, the schedule. Because they have midweek, So you see, it just, by the way, management, them have midweek, right? They're supposed to have Wednesday game, given the amount of games.
I don't know. I haven't seen the full schedule yet, so I can't.
I know I see Saturday, Sunday, and Monday.
Eventually, we will have to have midweek fixtures. Nothing at this point in time, but we will eventually, because as you remember, the international window is coming up again quite soon. So we're going to come to a point where we will have it. There will be rescheduling, and we will have midweek fixtures at some point in the season. So it will come. It will come.
Yeah. All right, CC, I'm going to take a next one. We had a next caller coming.
Yeah, no problem. Respect. No problem.
All right. So let's see if we can get back this caller, and then we further our discussion. Yeah.
Season, and before him, we'll have to go back to Craig Foster. So
I think if the guy from Portmore, Walsh, was fully fit, I think he has the potential to score a lot of goals. Siobhan Walsh, I think so. I think he could be one of those players. Bygrave will score goals. I don't see him scoring. I don't see him. I think Owen Garden down at Mobile United, or Brian. I think Brian Brown could score a lot of goals in the league, because that Mobile team, they may not be the strongest defensively, but they are dangerous going forward. So I think Brian Brown could potentially reach up to that sort of level in terms of the 20-goal level. I think Harborview losing Joshua Anglin is going to be a major setback for them. I think he was a pillar in the midfield. All right. So yeah. Let's take some prediction. You can go ahead, Declan. Duclan, you can call in and give your predictions. It's not a problem, man. You can do that.
John Morrow Calvin, I wouldn't sleep on him either.
John Morrow Calvin. What I think the other guy is going to score more goals.
Stein. Yeah, from Suriname.
I feel like Stein is what people are saying about Bygrave. I would say that about that player named Stein. Like, he has a way of getting onto loose balls, and I think he will score some goals in the league. I don't think Cavaliers is as good as they were last season. You don't have the what's his name, Gadiel Irwin putting ball in the box, and so I don't see them scoring many goals this season. I think they are going to struggle, especially because they have to be balancing the championship along with the league. They have players who are still playing schoolboy football, so I think they're going to be stretched thin, because in the early part, but once all of those things are done, you're possibly going to see them coming strong. I know a lot of persons have been asking me about, like, Mount Pleasant, and the fact that Mount Pleasant, just some of the decisions. I will say this, right? What I'll say about Mount Pleasant is you have to appreciate a team that are willing to spend no matter what to get what they want, right? And while money don't bring stuff, we can see that City, they have spent money and they have won. So there is a truth. Real Madrid spends money, they win. So spending money is good. It's a good thing because it helps. It does help. Somebody said if Racing didn't cash in on their tier 2 striker, honestly, he would have put Waterhouse to bed. Oh yeah, that is the player that moved to he moved to Mount Pleasant from Racing. I think it's Raheem Edwards is his name.
Yeah.
Don't even know if he featured in the game. I said, Doctor, here I have a question for you, Simon. So I don't know if you want to take that, if you want to address that with him.
Not that I'm aware of. I can't speak on those areas, so I'm not sure. As you know, we're still in the month of September. There's still a number of weeks to go before the October window. A lot can happen. As you know, the players still have another 2-3 more games before the next international window. So we'll see what Coach McLaren is looking for, what exactly is his goals. And so it's too early to say that this is the possibility of happening, because the next couple of weeks can determine another thing, or could also alter opinions as well. So still early days, and we have to wait and see, because the next window, players wouldn't come into camp until October 6th, 7th, thereabouts. And we're still in the month of September.
You know what I believe, Simon? I think going ahead, FIFA need to scrap the September window.
Why is that?
I'm going to tell you why. I think when the players play, most of these players play a competition. So they finish playing their leagues in May.
Right.
Most years, they have a competition that runs from the back end of June to July.
Correct.
The Premier League season, or most of the league, starts in August.
Right.
And then by 2 weeks' time, you're going to a September window. And this is the time when most of the clubs complain, because players come back jet lagged, tired, with niggles and injuries and all of those things. I feel like we can do without that September window and go windows in October, November, and December, because there's no window in December.
Yeah, no, there's no window in December. I think what the European clubs try to do is maximize December with fixtures because of the weather and so on and so forth. That's very, very congested. So if we were to remove a September window, then perhaps it would have to be January, February, thereabouts, as clubs like to squinge in as much as they can in December. Of course, it's the holidays, try to get people out, etc. During the World Cup qualifiers, the last 2022 cycle, we had a window January, February. So we'll see moving forward. But the international window for FIFA is set until 2027, so there wouldn't be any changes until they're on in. So, for example, September 2025, we have World Cup qualifying. So that's another window for us to look forward to. But I do take your point, because that is the most difficult window. Players are changing clubs. Players are getting into the clubs. So you're absolutely right with the challenges that are presented in that window. 100%.
Yeah, so if you play even in the Champions League, you're going to play in May. And so by the time you leave there, you have a couple of weeks to go to either Copa America, to the Euros, or to the Gold Cup. And then by the time you finish that, you understand me, you're back now in pre-season. And then as soon as you do pre-season, you play one game, you're off again.
That's
to play a couple of international games. And I think it needs to be looked at. I can see why clubs are complaining about it. I think some of them are being very, or maybe the September window should be one game. And find a next window to play the other game that you'd have played in September. But instead of making it a 10-day window, make it like a 6-day window with one game.
It's worth looking at, for sure. September. Yeah, because you're playing 2 games at your clubs and then you're flying halfway across the Atlantic to come over.
Yeah. I also saw, because I know that players are planning I thought players were planning on striking as well. I know that there are discussions with players in Europe, like striking because of this whole issue, because they feel like they're playing too many games.
It's a lot of football, and the demands at the highest level is really a lot because you factor in 38 games in a season and you put in cup games together. That's 50 games basically there, plus the international football, 10 to 12 fixtures a year. You're playing over 60 games a year. It is rigorous. It is absolutely rigorous. So the balance is hard to find. It really, really is hard to find, especially when you're a top professional playing in the highest league or a second tier like a championship. It's rigorous because in championship you're playing 46 games every Tuesday, Saturday you're playing. So it is a lot.
And so like I was saying on the thing, when you consider like even players coming into, which is part of the issue, when you think about the players like representing Jamaica, travel on them is serious. You understand me? When you think about like even for like a Damian Lowe or a Demarai Gray and how far they play, you think about the ones in England, and like I said, they have games on the Tuesday and the Saturday, and it's not like the Premier League adjust the fixtures to move the games like all the games on the Sunday. They still have Saturday fixtures.
Right. So we had played Honduras on the Tuesday in Honduras, and Casey Palmer had the Yorkshire Derby the Friday.
Look like Simon is frozen on that end.
I'm here. You can hear me? Hello? Hello? Can you hear me? I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Yeah, hearing you now, Sam. I hear you now, Simon.
Right, I was saying like Casey Palmer, he played the Tuesday against Honduras, and Friday had the Yorkshire Derby against Sheffield United. So that was a quick turnaround as well between matches. Can you guys hear me?
Yeah. Because he would have actually arrived on the Thursday and have the game on the Friday. So that is why probably he got just a few minutes in that game.
Yeah. Yeah, that was a quick turnaround for him. So yeah, I understand. It's difficult.
Bobby Reid as well, who flew into London. But Bobby Reid would not have probably had a time to turn up for training as well, because he would have to go to London and from London to Leicester for his game.
Exactly.
Go to Leicester and then from Leicester to wherever, because where did Leicester play? Because sometimes you have to go to your training base because you come into London, then you have to go to Leicester, and then wherever Leicester is traveling to, you're going to have to travel from Leicester to that place to play. And I think they had an away game.
Yeah, Crystal Palace. Yeah. Crystal Palace in South London.
Unless they told him to stay in London. Yeah. Unless they told him, listen, stay in London and we'll meet you, which you think not going to happen.
Yeah. That's true.
But it is something I think that needs to be, it needs to be really looked at and seriously discussed going forward, just how the window are what are your thoughts on Mauricio Pochettino now appointed as head coach?
Concacaf is quite an interesting environment, and Pochettino is going to have to learn the culture, the environment. So it's compelling. Of course, the Gold Cup will be an opportunity where he'll be able to analyze things, as well as first tournament per se, of course, and the Nations League in November. It's an interesting appointment, very much so. And of course, he'll be familiar with quite a number of players that play their trade in England already. Yeah, we're just going to have to wait and see how he settles into his environment and if he is able to buy into this culture as well. He has a friendly against Panama October 12th and then plays Mexico away the 15th. So that'll be an interesting test for him. This is international football, so a different sort of experience for him, especially from the time that he had Southampton, Tottenham, PSG, Chelsea. So it'll be interesting how he settles into as well, because of the environments he's been in previously, Espanyol in Spain as well. Just about him learning and being able to adapt to the culture. That's going to be one of the massive things for him as well, to settle in. Yeah.
And we also saw some news with Jamaica's I think best female footballer to date, Khadija Bonishaw, with her visa issues, wasn't able to play for Manchester City.
Disappointing, very, very much so. So, the management of Manchester City and administration, I'm curious to know what is the situation, because if you provide the necessary documents that is required and the prerequisite, then everything should go well. So, Manchester City has to explain that and be held accountable for that. And hopefully this is something that is not replicated in the future. Of course, she'll play in the home game in the Champions League, but this has to be something that is ensured that is not repeated in the future. So, yep, certainly Manchester City, room for improvement there.
Yeah. All right, I said Duckland. I don't agree with Duckland.
Brian Brown, I can put Brian Brown in the top.
Yeah, Devontae Campbell. I don't think Devontae Campbell is a prolific goal scorer. I think I think Raheem Edwards that they have bought will score more goals than him. I think Shaquille Bradford, who's scored already, will score more goals than him. Just in the Mount Pleasant team, I think Daniel Green is going to score more goals than him. So I don't see him in that. I think Fabian Reed is always going to score goals in this league. I've always liked this guy, Warder Brown. He was away on contract, got injured. He was at Tivoli Gardens doing well. He did well when he was at St. Andrew Technical High School. I think he's also going to score some goals as well in the league this season. So he's but those are the players. I don't see Devontae Campbell or Bygrave in the top 3, top 4 in terms of goal scoring. I think the guy Stein out at Cavaliers, he's going to be in there with the goal scoring as well. And I think Brian Brown. Javan Bryan at Water. Javan Bryan. I think he will score more goals than Atafari Bygrave at Waterhouse.
Yeah, he will be the glue. 17 goals last campaign, and certainly not only double digit, but I think in the high teens. I think that's realistic, up to 20. Javan Bryan, yes, mentioned Stein, Fabian Reed, Brian Brown. Yeah. Score goals.
Yeah. I see Rob Smith asking visa to what country? I think it was for France.
Yeah, that's who they play in the Champions League. I think it's Paris FC. So yeah, it just goes to show with a Jamaican passport, we need visas for a lot of places. We have the 60th strongest passport in the world. So yeah, there's still quite a number of countries in the world that we need visas for. So
yeah. You know what? Shamsi just brought up on him. Nicholas Nelson as well.
Good shout.
That's a good shout. Yeah, that's a good shout. But Oran, welcome. Oran is from Trinidad asking, any idea on the TNT coach yet? I have been trying to find out what is happening. So it is right now. It is Angus Eve assistant Simmons who is coaching the team. But I understand that the government of Trinidad and Tobago would have basically given him the job.
Derek King?
Huh?
Given Derek King the job, or?
No, given King or Simmons is the guy's name.
Derek King, the head coach?
King, right. Yeah. They had given the job to Dwight York. I think somehow they were going to pay because of financial issue. But I was reading an article and it seemed like there was some issue in Australia with Dwight York from what I read. And I was wondering if the appointment was held off until that issue is resolved. So where he was in Australia coaching, there were some issues there, legal issues. And I was wondering if they may have held off on the appointment of him because of those issues. So some people are asking, I agree that Angus Eve was doing a good job. Some people are asking if Bonishaw wasn't just in France. Why would she still need a visa? Didn't she have a work permit and all of those things in France? So why would she need a visa now to travel back there?
there's a difference between residency, a visitor visa, and also a residency. There's differences there. So again, it's for Manchester City to answer that question. So yes, she played in France, and she would have, of course, had the requisite requirements to play there. Now, visiting is a different component together. As I said, Manchester City has to answer that.
Yeah.
Yeah, because
And I know that. Yeah, go ahead. No, man, go ahead.
Because saying that you're going to visit a country as a tourist or visit for whatever purpose, business, sport, whatever, is different from you residing in that country. It's two different set of visas. And for other countries, it's a bit more specific, whether it's business or sport or leisure, different components. So you can be successful for one versus the other. I'm not saying that is the case for Bonnie. I'm just making it clear that you have different types of visas.
Yeah. And Cameron Simmons doing well out in Florida. You know, she's changed, so she's out in Florida now. FSU, I believe.
Yeah, we're very proud of her. Even from the time at Tennessee, you know.
I want to tell you something. You would not want to believe what position they have her out there playing. Guess what position she's playing?
Not as a striker.
Not as a striker. Can you tell me what position Cameron Simmons now plays in college?
A fullback.
She's playing fullback. Yeah, playing fullback. I don't know. I'm wondering if that is a position that
for me, she scores goals. So when she's a professional, I think that's where she'll be. But at least she's learning a craft. She's 20 years old. And based on what I see of her, she's someone that is willing to learn, willing to grow. And I think that she's going to be a great professional for our country in the near future. It might help her down the road because she might have a responsibility for Jamaica where she's playing wide and have to help back defensively. So if it means that she's just learning a craft here, like Antonio, who used to be a right back, fine, but I wouldn't say that this is her future, in my opinion.
Yeah, because she moved from Tennessee, where she was playing as a striker.
Yeah, and scored goals quite frequently as well. So
yeah,
she's 20.
And she's there. Yeah, and she's there with Brian Pensky, who used to coach Bonishaw, Tennessee as well, coach Jody Brown. So under the tutelage of a good coach, so that is good.
Absolutely. Yeah, her time, it wouldn't surprise me next year that she turns pro. Great to see Bunny Shaw also, not Bunny, but Jody Brown turned professional, Shade Adama-Lekon, professional now at Hearts as well. So you look at the attacking options and you say to yourself, wow, because you have Bunny, Tiffany Cameron, Jody Brown, Cameron Simmons, Kayla McCoy, Kayla McKenna. Yeah, the options are endless. So many different options in terms of the attacking gems that are available.
How is Jody Brown? Has she played yet?
I don't think she has played yet for Benfica, but at least she's settling into her environment, and that's the most important thing. She's in Europe now after spending 4 or 5 years in North America. So for me, it's about settling into this environment. It's a long-term contract. So for me, I don't mind the ability of her getting to know an environment, different time zone, observing, and eventually the playing time will come. I don't doubt that at all. So I haven't seen her play for Benfica as yet.
Okay.
But yeah, if you get in the number 11, then there's a responsibility that you have. So yeah, it'll come.
Yeah. Let's see if this will kind of help her in terms of how probably Jamaica sets up. Because we could play like with 3 center backs, which we think we have good center backs, and she play like as a right wing back, which means she would have the freedom of going forward and stuff like that. I think, yeah.
Yep, we have under Coach Busby, we've seen that as well in terms of the depth that is in those positions as well. You could even have a Vian Sampson as a defensive midfielder or dropping between the centre halves as well. So there's sufficient depth in those areas, absolutely. So there's quality there. And we're waiting to see for the FIFA windows for the rest of the year, if there'll be any friendly matches arranged before next year when the World Cup qualifiers will commence for the women. So we'll see. I'm sure Coach Busby and Mr. Chung will be working assiduously to arrange friendly matches prior to the qualifiers that start next year.
Yeah. And I think like they have a window coming up in November.
November is an international window for the women, yes.
Yes.
I haven't heard anything yet, confirmation of a friendly, but yes, there's a window in November. So it'd be great to utilize that opportunity. So at least another opportunity for Coach Busby to see the squad post the Brazil friendlies. So very, very important. And I'm sure a great opportunity to see what is available to us as well prior to the qualifiers next year. Same like last World Cup qualifying cycle, 4 spots for Concacaf and 2 teams head to the intercontinental playoffs. So again, the same in terms of slot allocation for Concacaf. So that is good and a great opportunity for us to go back to back World Cups.
Yeah. Someone asking about any new addition to the regular girls from England. There is a player, oh geez, I forgot her name. Is it Jade Williams?
Bailey or Williams?
I don't know, but there is a new player that they got. I don't remember her name, but I think she recently got her Jamaican stuff in place. But I'll find out her name and let you know. But there's a new top player that they possibly would have got. I don't remember the name. How could I forget? How could I forget? But I'll find it out. Schoolboy football going on as well. The man in school doing well as usual. We did well in under 14, under 16 for the last couple of years. All Ireland under 16 champion. And
Mannings.
All the players are still, remember we defeated JC in the All Ireland finals. So we have all of those players at the school, including players who return like Javin Williams. So a lot is expected of the team. They seem to be, which is one of the issues they have. They normally complete and come through their zone easily. And then I think because of the lack of competition in the zone, they struggle in the other rounds of the competition. So let's see. Glenmuir looks like the team to stop this year. Kingston College looks well in Manning Cup. So too the likes of Mona and Jamaica College. I don't know if there's any outliers. Dintil, I know, is doing well as well. So interesting to see what will happen. Yeah. See Ernest asking something of Simon. Simon, is it going to? It is going the rounds that Reece Nelson says he wants to play 1 year of club football before thinking of playing international football. Have you ever heard anything on that report?
I haven't seen the article or a video that would suggest that. I haven't seen it, so I can't say that is the case. Like what is very, very important is that when you read news articles, quotes give credibility and clarity. And if it's an article that is just written text, that is not something that gives clarity or credibility to things. When you see a quote from so-and-so, that is what gives credibility or clarity. Just saying Mannings man will join Manchester United and not a quote from the Sir Eric Ten Hag or so on and so forth. So that is why it's very important, the information that we receive, that is imperative to check where is it coming from. I haven't seen an article or a video interview to suggest that.
Yeah, and one of the things I'll say to people is that, listen, not because something is in a newspaper or on radio mean that the source is immaculate or it is correct. You understand me? Sometimes people just think they know. And like I said, if it is not a specific quote from the person or persons within their camps, a reporter can just pick up certain things and just write something. So a lot of the times you hear things and you see things. Ask people, what is the source of this? Where you understand, because you can't validate it. You can only say, I saw you here. And anybody can hear anything and say anything. It doesn't matter whether it's Mannings man or Simon reporting on it or it's a next major print or platform and stuff. what I'll say to people is that oftentimes, like the discussion about players, it just leads nowhere. So my suggestion would be wait to see when the squad is named. That's it.
Yeah, like many people say, Simon, James Tavernier has a Jamaican mother. Look what Wikipedia says. His mother's from Hungary. So that's why it's very, very important to double check and triple check sources. You know, Wikipedia is something that Mannings man and I can be able to edit by 2 clicks on our computers. So because something might say so-and-so's mother is born in Jamaica, it's very important to double check and triple check things. So, you know, that's why it's so important to be clear and credible.
Yeah, and then what I'll say is that sometimes like a player who you may hear about 2 years ago and they may not be playing today and you thought it was going to happen, and it's not a matter of commitment and I keep on saying that. Just believe that sometimes the process, whenever you have to depend on people that were born probably in the 30s, or you understand me, that are deceased and all of those things in the 40s, it's very, very difficult. And we have to just understand that reality. We have to understand that reality and know that, well, it may not have anything to do with commitment from the player or desire from the player, but it has to do with paperwork and processing of the particulars to make you a citizen of the country. And so I think the best thing to do is to always wait until a coach names his squad and see who is there, or when there's a press conference to kind of find out from the coach. Because the truth is, if there is a declaration or someone that says, I am going to play, trust me, you will see all the evidence to validate that. Everything else is mere speculation and assumptions. And if you build your hope on that, you're going to quarrel and start discredit people. But yet sometimes we are forcing the people to basically give us information that is not there. So we put a demand on Simon to tell us stuff that is not there. And if he doesn't tell us, we have an issue with it. And I think we have to manage those things. It's almost like we want these 10 players and we are going to search and dig and try to find out like when they're going to, if they're going to, and where processes at and all of that, instead of just waiting. And if it happens, it happens. That's what I believe.
Yeah, something I've always said, you know, it's all hands on deck. At the end of the day, you know, naturalization, passports, it doesn't come through the federation, it comes through the government of Jamaica. So patience is one quality that everybody should develop. That's one. And two, you know, being able to respect is another quality as well, and not jump to assumptions. Never jump to assumptions. So I concur your point 100%. So that's something we have to be mindful about and be aware about.
Yeah, and what I know is that players like the Delanos, the Casanovas, the Brandon Cover, the Tyler Roberts, all of these guys, all they have to do, I believe, is keep on putting in the work and doing well and performing, because the coach is in England, and if they are doing well, they already have passport, they already have documentation, so they are there. So who is the coach looking at? Simon don't know, and I don't know who the coach is looking at. But what I know is that if players are playing well, because the coach is in England, the likelihood of him seeing and knowing is highly probable than someone who is elsewhere or in Jamaica. So that is where I am at. If a player is up there creating waves in the league, I think the coach has enough contacts and is a big enough profile coach to know.
Yeah, and as I said earlier in the show, today is September 19, and the next window of games, as we know, is October 10 and 14. So by October 4th or 5th, that's when the squad will be released. So you'll see October 4 or October 5. So a lot can happen between then. That's another 11, 12 days in this month plus another 3-4 days in the next month. So that's another 2.5 weeks. A lot can happen. A player can pick up a nice piece of form. So a lot can happen. So all we have to do.
Players can get injured.
That can happen.
Yeah. I mean, a lot of people were crying out for Norman Campbell. He got selected.
And had an impact in the goal.
And had an impact in the game.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so you just never know. Understand that Damian Lowe made his debut today.
Yep, very pleased for him. I think it's great that he's finally done that, because he had joined prior to the international window, and then basically he was on the bench. But yeah, made his debut today. Unfortunately, it ended with him getting sent off, second bookable offense, but still made his debut today in a 0-0 draw. Yeah, I got back-to-back yellows and got the second yellow in stoppage time, second half stoppage time.
Oh, but the game ended 0-0.
Yeah, game ended 0-0. Yeah. Simon,
CC says, will I be able to ask a question at the press conference? I tried the last time, but got frozen out due to like this. You know that this statement CC don't make any sense.
Exactly. Why didn't he raise his hand?
No. Here's what he's saying. He got frozen out due to his shy nature. So you being intimidated is not being frozen out. The two things don't connect. Like, all you have to do then is be bold. How I don't know.
Yep, CC, whether it's virtual or whether it's face-to-face, raise your hand. Simple.
I don't understand the point. But before I go to Peter, who's online, Management, please remind Simon to bring the coach's attention to Maggie. As you said, players can get injured. Why? I did not tell him yet. I must remind. I'm not going to remind Simon about that. It is not Simon's job or my job to tell the coach about players, boss.
So you must. Wilbur could tell me. He have to send Mannings to tell me an extra layer of communication.
You understand me? I don't understand. Big up yourself here, Wilbert. Peter, good afternoon. Welcome to the show, my friend. How are you doing?
Yeah, I'm fine, man. Greetings, Simon and Mannings and everybody listening and the viewers. Simon,
good afternoon.
I have a problem with the Swiss system. And I know I can't complain to you because you didn't design the system. But I want to ask you a few questions. Isn't Jamaica the top-seeded team in our group?
Yes, we're the number 1 seed in our group, and based on the format, you play the team that is closest to you in the Concacaf rankings index, and the closest team to Jamaica would be Honduras, because we're 6th in Concacaf, Honduras is 7th, so play them twice. Just like last year, we played Haiti twice because we're the closest to them in the index.
Wow, man, you answer my next question. You're saying that the format is such that the top 2 seeded team play each other twice.
The team that is closest to you in the Concacaf rankings index, you play them twice.
Right. How is that fair, Simon? because when you look at Nicaragua, right? When you look at Nicaragua, the hardest game that Nicaragua is going to play is against Jamaica now, and they're playing that game at home, at their home. So they are a much lesser ranked team. But to me, as it stands right now, I think Jamaica will beat them, but I think Nicaragua have an advantage over Honduras based on the games Nicaragua has left, and Honduras stand a chance of losing to Jamaica. So to me, it doesn't give the top seed or
a better opportunity to,
Yeah, I think it's a little unfair. What do you think, Simon?
Well, Costa Rica is playing Guatemala twice as well, so you're having a situation where the team closest to you is that you're playing that team twice. It is what it is. We have to improve our ranking. As I said, what happens in the past affects the present. Had we had defeated El Salvador in 2019, we wouldn't have been in this situation because we lost to a team that was lower than us in the ranking. So had that result had gone in our favor, we would have been in a situation like USA and Mexico is right now, where we're just waiting for a quarterfinal opponent. So that is why I'm saying the results are incredibly important, especially the teams that are below you in the ranking. So it is for our mantra now to ensure that we continue getting maximum points, especially those teams that are below us in the index.
Do you know why the system was implemented in CONCACAF?
The format changed because of the nature for qualifying for Copa America, and this is replicating that same format for the Gold Cup qualifiers. So this is what it's going to be like, and they won't have a Nations League in September 2025, but we will have a Nations League after the World Cup in 2026.
It's almost like you're punishing the team. I know punish is a strong word. The team that is the highest rank. So for Jamaica being the highest rank, we get to play Honduras twice. Which is not easy. You know what I mean? So I don't really like it. I don't think it's fair. Everything I read online, they explain the format, but they really don't. When you go on Wikipedia, it says it was introduced in chess, and it was to reduce the number of matches, right? But it just don't seem like a fair system. But like you say, it is what it is. We just have to live with it.
Yep, continue rising up the rankings.
I don't like it.
So that in the next 2 years from now, we're only playing a quarterfinal and not a group stage. So that's what we can do right now and ensure that.
Yeah, I think the key. You're right. Sorry, Simon. I think the key, Peter, is for Samo. What I was upset about is we finished third in the last Nations League.
Right.
Third, we finished, right?
Yes.
Because USA was 1, Mexico was 2, Jamaica was 3, and was it Panama that was 4? All right.
Right.
Canada finished 5th.
Correct.
And Canada are still seeded, and that was based on because and this is why I was saying that Jamaica should have gotten some sort of points.
Right.
So when we come again, our results and points would probably move. I don't. That is the part I don't like. I cannot finish third. You finish outside the top 4, but you're still back in the top 4. And I who finish third have to still play to get back in the top 4.
Yeah.
That is a part of it.
Yeah, man, that's a very good point. It's a very good point. Maybe they can look at that going forward. But I think Jamaica does have. I think there is some advantage, to playing in these rounds as to be,
I do. I also believe that Jamaica playing these games together, it is so beneficial, especially with a new coach, because if the ultimate is like the Gold Cup, the coach gets the opportunity to play, a couple of games. Yes, competitive games, and can bring in players and look at players as he prepares for the other stage of the World Cup qualifiers, which he may end up facing some of these teams in the Nations League.
Right.
It is possible that when we get to the other stage of the World Cup qualifier, we may be grouped with Honduras.
Possibly.
Right.
Yeah. So I don't have a problem.
Right, brother.
Yeah, we have 4.
You say you don't have a problem with it, Simon?
No, we have 4 solid FIFA windows before the next set of World Cup qualifiers, so it's important for Coach McLaren. So that's 8 matches basically, so that he can be able to see what works, what doesn't work, what I need to fine tune. So personally,
yeah. And the other, Simon is right, Peter, because the other issue you have is that how many quality. Look who USA playing in their friendly games, Panama, and they have a next game. Who again they play in the next window? They have 2 friendly games, Mexico and Panama. Are the 2 friendlies that they have. So the point I'm making is that if USA can't even find what you call high quality friendlies because all teams are engaged. So what would Jamaica have done if we weren't doing this?
Maybe the same.
Yeah.
Or maybe we'd be playing like some lesser opponents. Maybe you'd have to go and play like Tanzania or like
you would have teams that are already eliminated from World Cup qualifying, like in
teams
Asia,
that exactly in
Bangladesh,
Asia,
Sri Lanka.
Bangladesh, Sri Lanka, India, probably India, if they're still they're out. And what that would do is it's just it don't make any sense. So there is a benefit to it, but I do understand the concern that you have. I don't like the Swiss format, which is similar to what because the World Cup qualifiers that we play, you don't play any return games in it. 2 home, 2 away.
Mm-hmm.
And it is the other round that you play home and away, right?
Correct. Yes, absolutely.
Yeah.
Right.
So it just work in our favor in terms of how we get the games.
Yep.
Right.
Coach McLaren gets us a different atmosphere, see how hostile it is in Central America, and getting accustomed to the region, the ins and outs of Concacaf.
Yeah.
First-hand experience.
Yeah. I guess there's pros and cons. I just didn't understand why it was introduced in the first place to CONCACAF, because we've always played home and away, and everybody play everybody. So I don't know. Anyway, yeah, man, good insight, Mannings, man, and Simon. Thank you very much.
Yeah, man, you're welcome, Peter. Somebody saying that we need to play Iceland or Ireland. Which we want to play?
Iceland, why? To prepare for Greenland in CONCACAF?
Yeah, right. Why Iceland?
Yeah, why Iceland? I don't understand.
Yeah. Why Iceland? Oh, Ireland. It must be Ireland he's talking.
Depends on what the group in the World Cup looks like. If we have, for example, a European team in our group, like England in our group, then yeah, I don't mind friendlies against Ireland or Scotland or Wales. Sure.
All right. So people were saying Damian Lowe got a red card. The second bookable offense was a handball.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So don't. So you got 2 yellow cards. The second bookable offense was a ball on the hand. So don't go ahead and say, see it, him get red card as if it is a bad tackle that was made, all right? Because I know sometimes because of a narrative that is there, people run with the wrong information, all right? So it's 2 yellow cards, and the second one was a handled ball, all right? So that is what he got. The second yellow for which led to the expulsion from the game. All right.
Mm-hmm.
Nitro says England will fail to qualify for the 2026 World.
No,
Nitro, I would like for you to call in.
No chance.
Yeah.
But yeah, Shamar says scored for Spartak Moscow against Krylia Sovetov. So that's very, very good in the Russian Cup. So happy for him.
Yeah. And I see people asking about Krista J. Daly and Tyreek McGee. Let's see. Well, all I'm saying is if you're not being called, keep on performing, keep on playing well, and the coach will see you. It is impossible for the coach not to know about a player that I said is creating a storm. The issue is it a pebble that you have just thrown in the water? Yes, it has an effect, but how big is the effect? Man, if you drop a little pebble in the water, after a little while it wear off. Don't drop a pebble in the water. Drop in a massive rock. That means the ripple effect is far-reaching. It is difficult not to know that something has stirred up the waters. That is what the players have to do. And if you do that, I find it difficult to believe that the coach should not know and the coach should not call you. So if you know the player, you want the player on the team, just tell the player to keep on performing, get better and better and better, put in the performances, and the coach will see you. Not only the coach, because your first priority is not just to be seen by the national coach, but to be seen by other clubs. So if you are creating that kind of storm in any league that you are in, then other clubs will see you and buy you. You think if a coach sees you moving from one league to a higher league, they won't look what is happening? So do that. When we begin to see the progression from one level to the level, people will know that undeniable, this person deserves a look in. Undeniable, this person, you understand me? Undeniable.
Yep, continue to market yourself and your ability. I'm sure for example, a player of McGee's caliber, certainly pushing, okay, I'm in USL, next year I want to be playing the higher division up or back in Europe. So yeah, keep on striving, keep on working. Consistency, that is key. Consistency. So everything in time. Everything will come in time.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, 100%. You're spot on there. Yeah, certainly we're pleased with our national players in terms of opportunities at clubs and some that are on their way of making breakthrough. Great to see Dixon on the bench quite recently for Charlton. That was an encouraging sight to see quite recently. And may he continue to settle into his new environment, because think about what 2024 has been like for him. Debut for Jamaica, Nations League medal, a Copa America under his belt, and now being transferred to England. So a lot has happened in such a short space of time, and just want him to settle into his environment, get used to the conditions, the environment, and yeah, the playing time will come.
Yeah, see someone saying Shaquan Satchel was a promising talent. How is he progressing? I don't know.
Yep, we'll do some digging on
Do
that.
some research on that. I know what I find strange, Joe, is that his brother with Shaquan Davis.
His brother is Shaquan Davis.
Yeah.
Interesting. Yep, Shaquan Davis has returned to the sticks for Mount Pleasant. It was Chambers at the start. And now, had Davis came in for the game against Arnett, 1-2-1, played the first game of the JPL season. So Shaquan Davis getting back into a rhythm of things. So that is good as well. 23.
No. Yeah. Duklan, no. Remember there was an issue with Cephas at the end of the transfer window, my friend. To say that he was doing well, he wasn't. Remember there was an issue that came out with his Turkish club, that he wasn't even in the official team. He was training with the second team or with the yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yep. That's right, and he's actually scored.
So it's not like he was. So he was there, but sometimes the decision that you make, because remember the club said that he was missing, he never turned up, all of those things for pre-season. So there were some issues.
Yeah,
so
again,
to say that he was not recalled is not fulsome. It's not fully accurate, because there were other things, meaning that he was not at the time. He was out of a situation with his club that probably needed to be looked at. So sometimes we have to look at the other factors as well. Yeah.
Yep, 100%. Yeah. That's certainly the case. Yeah, and folks, as I said, just be mindful that in certain countries, remember, English is not the first language. So what they say or how they say things is different from, what we understand it as English as our first language or a natural native tongue. So when they say somebody's missing, it means somebody has not reported for training, not a situation where somebody's been kidnapped or anything like that. So that's why context is incredibly important. When Angel Di Maria wasn't on the plane for Manchester United for preseason training, he did not go missing. He was not on preseason training. He did not report for preseason training. He was at PSG. So that's why it's very, very important to context is everything as well, and to know exactly the persons that are disseminating information, the sporting director of the club, English is not his first language or second language. So, yeah, different things to consider.
Yeah. Yes, all Cephas has to do is to find out the form that he was in, keep on playing, keep on scoring, and he's there. You understand me? The other player that came in, Campbell, I think they both have the same agent. So, there you go. So maybe both of them are fighting for that position. So Norman Campbell playing well, Cephas playing well, Bailey comes back in, Demar great. What do? You understand me? You look at who is doing better, and that is how the selection is made. Right? Daniel Johnson, listen, at the end of the day, Daniel Johnson was not getting any playing time.
At Stoke.
Yeah? Yeah, at Stoke. So even if he doesn't get back into the national team, here's what, the move is good for him, because Because guess what? He is playing football, which is the man joy. You understand me? I think it's hard to sit out like almost an entire season not getting any games. So I think it is good for him. And hopefully he can find back his better form.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Oh, so Nitro is saying that they may face Germany, France, or Portugal in qualifying matches in 20 due to which he's saying that. I think that England can beat Portugal. Portugal, but still no. Portugal has subbed Vitina, Bernardo Silva, Leo, the Portugal team, but I think that Ruben Diaz, I think the defense line is a little bit weak though. I don't trust the defense line.
Yeah, I do think FIFA rankings will come into play as well regarding seedings, and England is in the top 4 in the world, so I'm not overly concerned about that, quite frankly. England went to the last 2 Euros finals. They've been ranked in the top 4 for some time. So, but yeah, England will be at the World Cup in 2026. Certain about that. How they'll do is another conversation, but they'll be at the World Cup in 2026 for sure. That's how I feel.
So leader, who's supposed to track the players? I am saying that if I'm a coach, I'm not tracking no. Listen, because if a player is doing well, a coach will know. All I'm saying is that a player scoring 1 goal in a particular may not be doing better than the player that the coach is seeing right now. I am saying though, when you're doing extremely well, it cannot be hidden, boss.
Yep.
So it is a player's agent and stuff. One of the things that I think people need to look at is what Craig Butler has done and learn from him. When Craig Butler has a player that is doing well, you may not like all his behaviors and attitudes and all of that, but here's what is clear. He's going to put that player out there. Everywhere you turn, you're going to hear about the player. That is not like a coach for the national team doing that. That is the player's agent. They get articles. You understand me? They get articles in the newspapers and they have them doing interviews. You see their clips everywhere. Some of these players we are scoring. You have to be searching to find their goals. The agent need to have their clips, sending it to different media houses and YouTube platform and station. So every time the player score, every time the player does something, because people say that the players are doing well because they're making an 18-man squad or a 23-man squad. So because they finally move from just training with the team to being in the squad, we say that they are doing well. Or because we hear that they're in a club and the club is doing well, the player may not be getting a lot of minutes. They may be getting minutes in garbage time. You understand me? So it is to the agent to do some of that. I don't know what you think about that, Simon, if you see. Because there are so many players. The coach not going up. The coach have a game coming up. You think the coach going to be sitting down looking at 200 and odd players?
You're right in terms of the agent having a certain role to play, and of course the player as well, because performing, and as you rightfully said, you're making an impact, you won't go unnoticed or be overlooked. So it's about the consistency again. And certainly, if you are deemed enough, you have the requisite quality, then you will get an opportunity in the national setup. The reality is that of all Jamaican footballers that are professional, whether you are born on the island or not, the fact is less than 10% will ever put on a Jamaica shirt. So it's great for the competition. Long may it continue. We want to have more players overseas. But you know what you have to do to be able to be part of that cusp of being a national player.
Yeah, you do exactly what Leader is doing. Leader, what you're doing is what needs to be done. Nobody was thinking about Samuel Sheets. You come on a platform and you put in him name. You know what's going to happen now? Everybody going to try and find out who this player is. That's what people do. You understand me? Maggie have some people who love and support him. You know what they do? They start come on YouTube and say, give Maggie a call. All of a sudden, all over YouTube, that is it. So it is. See it, Leader, you're putting up all kind of names. Leader going to put up every Cavalier's name, player name. right? He's going to tell you about Rochester. So he's telling you about Lewis Watson. And he's going to tell you that they are doing well and tell you the age. Yeah, you understand me? That's what agents do. That is what like handlers of the players do. Then you have people like this brother named Kwame who can tell us him no one hear about no Samuel Shakes. But the name is out there even when him said that because him still typing in the name. So the algorithms concerning the players, you understand me?
And O'Keefe Cunningham as well, Mr. Maxwell. O'Keefe Cunningham as well. Don't forget. But yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So this is what but I don't think this is the job of a coach. I think players must have a management team around them that do these things. Yeah. Do we have an issue with the lights at the stadium? Do we have an issue with the light at the stadium or not? I feel we're heading for another fiasco if we don't. There was any issue with the lights for the women's game?
Not at all.
It was just the Cavaliers game, yeah.
IPL just needs to do their parts and all as well. Not sure if there's an issue with the breakup on Tuesday, but no issue.
Or there was a power cut?
No, there was because two towers were on. It was just the two south towers that at halftime went blank.
They probably have them on timers.
Yeah, I'm not sure the dynamics of it, but the second half started. Yes, later, but the second half started. So we have to ensure that this doesn't happen and IPL is held accountable for what has happened.
Oh, somebody saying that Speed said Fraser's whip had issues. They said that there was issues last night for Fraser's whip as well.
Well, I wasn't at the game, so I don't know. I wasn't aware.
Oh well, this is a problem. I think they need to check it out because we have games on a Monday night at 8, and you know that can't really run late because those fines are very, very, very hefty. Telling you. Yeah. Leader, do not come though. Even though you want to promote the players, leader, do not come here and put out false information. All right, do not do that. So if all I'm saying, leader, is that if the clubs rent the facility, and they are fined because of a fault with the facility, then they should have had some they should not pay all the money. It's over. All right. Well, Jason is saying that he's not finding anything, leader. You're saying that you have facts to support it. So tell the man where to find the information. That's what they're asking in the club. Just answer the question and don't bother with people. Go around business, no man. Why you making things so difficult? Leader, call me and tell me about the player. Which club he is at and what he has been doing. How many minutes he has played so far. Call and tell me, leader. Give me some update. 2 players, leader. Call and give me update on only 2 players. You have 10 minutes. 5 minutes, 2.5 minutes, 1 minute.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Mr. Maxwell. Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. What's happening?
Yeah, can you share the information with the players, what club they are at, what their minutes have been like and stuff so we can go and check?
Shakes is at a non-league club in England.
What's the name of the club?
I don't want to... All right.
No, you don't want to say the club. All right, sorry to interrupt you. Go ahead.
I don't really... No, it's a non-league club in England. I didn't want to... I have the name, to be honest. I have the name, but I was going to check it right when you called. And
check it for what? The spelling?
No, I just wanted to give you the correct name, right? But it's a non-league club in England.
So
right?
tell me the name, and if you're far off, we can figure it out. And Simon is here too. Simon know everything England.
Okay, hold on as I'm going on. Like I'm talking to you right now. I'm also with Louis Watson. It's a Central American club. Didn't want to call the name on that either. Right? As I said, these. Yes, go ahead.
No, man. Just find the one for the non-league club that you can call the name.
The non-league. No, I'm looking back to my notes here.
Yeah, so you have it, but you just want to validate. So just give us the name we have so Simon can tell you the name. Because Simon is here. Just say the name.
Yes, hold on, everyone. Hold on. This is something that I didn't know for a while, but it had slipped me, Actually, it was Mr. Speed that had told me.
That is fine,
Right.
leader. All I'm saying to you said you have the name. You're not sure if the name is correct. I am saying to you, Simon.
I just know it's a non-league club, right? So he is there. It's not fully pro. So there are other issues that we are waiting on. That's why I didn't want to go too deep.
No, man, which is all right. So you can't. So how are you telling people to go and check him out?
No, it's there. You can find it, The info is there, It can be found.
So how you can
because
find it?
When I heard about it first,
leader,
hold on.
Listen what I'm saying, leader. Just stick to shit. You're telling us to find it. Can you find it?
It's there. I found it. I had found it.
So just tell us the name.
I had found it.
So you can't just tell us the name. Seeing that it is there, just tell us the name.
Look here, let me call you back in 2 minutes and give the exact name and stuff. Right? I've been for a year now, but give me 2 minutes. Let me call you right back and give you the full thing because it's in my phone.
All right.
Okay?
Yeah, man. All right. All right. So we are wait 2 minutes. So the player's name is Samuel Shakes. And people are not trying to be hard on leader or anything. You understand me? Just when you put the information out there and then people start ask questions, is a problem. So, you finding anything, Simon?
No, about the player that he's referring to, no. I was just working on another project, but no, not in relation to what he said. But I mean, if he said that, this is something that he found, that means that it's public knowledge. So therefore, it is.
Maybe it's not on Google. Maybe it's public knowledge, but it's not. It don't reach Google yet. Maybe somebody don't enter it to Google. I don't know. Welcome to the show, caller. Good afternoon.
Yes, man. Good afternoon. I have a question. I don't know if you are Simon. This player that play for Miami, Inter Miami FC named Frey. Is that guy have a Jamaican?
Ian Frey? Is Ian Frey?
Yes.
You're asking him if he's Jamaican? That is the question.
Yeah, he's asking if he have a Jamaican passport.
To the best of my knowledge, his sister is a reggae girl. So yeah, to the best of my knowledge, I believe he's naturalized.
Because the reason, because the reason why I asked, I remember at one time he was in one of the 60-man full squad, but from then I didn't hear anything more about it. That's why I asked.
Yeah, because of the back-to-back ACL injuries that he's had. So he's been out.
I think he's a player that we need to get to. I've been watching him for a while now.
So he plays for Inter Miami in the MLS.
Yes, man. He can play anywhere. He play anywhere across the back line. Right.
But how many? You know that the last time I checked, he wasn't getting a lot of minutes. So has his minutes increased?
No, man. He played last night. He's been playing, man. After last night, I was watching.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
After Copa. He can play a 6 too. He play a 6 sometimes.
Okay.
Yeah, man. And he's very young.
So 10 matches.
Yeah, and he's 20, 21, 22, young player. As I said, we have
Okay.
to tread lightly, especially for somebody that has so many ACL injuries. But I have no doubt in my mind that his opportunities will come once he's
Yeah.
consistent. Yeah, good player, really good player.
And I learned from good source that in states our iron. So that's why I'm really interested to find out about it.
Okay.
Okay. All right.
So somebody saying that he's backup right back for Tata, but sometimes play right centre back in a back three. All right.
Yeah, and I see him play as 6 though.
Yeah. All right. Appreciate that, caller. Yeah, we have the leader calling back. So let me just hear what he has to say. Yeah, man. All right. Thanks. Yeah. Yes, sir.
Right. Right. It was AFC Dunstable.
Yeah. Okay. So
right. It's not amateur. It's amateur. Right. So I think the idea that they were looking at was to move him in lower league and then have him progress up, because I think that's one of the way they try to go around the I don't know if I should discuss that here, the work permit rules. So have him in there as an amateur, right? And then
so this team is a non-league team.
Yeah, it's the 8th tier.
Yeah, AFC Dunstable. Yeah, man.
Yeah. So he's in the 8th tier of the English league. The English division.
Right. Yeah, man.
So
yeah, man.
Is this higher than the USL championship?
I really don't know. You know, the thing is, as is an opportunity. You know,
No. Here's the point I'm saying, though, leader. If we are talking about players to look for the national team. He's 20 years old.
I didn't mention him to look for the national. No, well, he is caliber for the national U teams. Yes, he definitely is.
He's 20. But hold on, slow down, man. What U team is he quality for?
If we have a turn and under 21, anytime, yes, he is. He has that. He has played a number of Premier League games already, you know.
Premier League games?
A lot of people don't remember that.
What?
Yes, he has.
Leader.
I think he has yes.
Shakes don't play more than 10 Premier League games. If he has
it
played,
doesn't matter.
So leader.
Come on, how many?
No, all right, leader. Here's what I'm saying. We just had almost 20 players who were trying to play for the under 20 team, who play between the from the Premier League club in England to League One and Championship, and in the academies there. Why would we go for a non-league player?
Well, this non-league player, if you compare him to some of the youngsters that in the last under 20.
But he could not play under 20.
Hold on. No, I know, but I'm just giving you a comparison. You mentioned that Shakes did not play more than 10 Premier League matches. You had guys that were selected to the last under 20.
But we don't agree. We don't agree with that. That is you and the scouts' fault.
No, hold on. No. Hold on now. Let me just. That did not play as many Premier League matches as a Sheikh, so you can't use that.
But no, of course I can, because I did not agree with that.
Anyway, let's not discuss that. No, that's a different matter. But I just want to don't use that. Because that doesn't make sense. Because you have guys
leader,
that didn't have that many matches.
Leader, it makes sense from me, leader, because I don't agree with that. I believe our under 20 team, our best professional players at that level should play.
Which is true. Mm-hmm.
So I don't agree with the team that was selected.
Anyway, hold on. The thing wasn't, when I mentioned the name, it was just about tracking players, as I said, as they move on.
So leader, we don't want to coach and track a player the way they're in the 8th tier of the English system.
No. Listen, let me tell you, he's going to move very fast enough because, as I said, a lot of players, this is a plan that a lot of players have done. Some of them go to the Eastern European countries.
Give me a player that went down so far.
Down there? Oh, yes, that's easy. Yeah. Where did Ethan Pinnock start out? Ethan Pinnock.
What are you talking about?
Ethan Pinnock started, I think. Let me just check something here.
Did Ethan Pinnock move from a club in Jamaica to the league over here, sir?
No, I'm saying, where did he start from in England?
Ethan Pinnock was in academies playing. Ethan Pinnock did not go down on 8th tier, non-league.
No, but Dulwich Chamblets were in the 7th tier when he started, and then
When he started, yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so that's what I mean. He started way down and then he moved up.
But leader, Ethan Pinnock is born in England.
But look how far down he had to start. He had to start almost at the same place as
Yeah,
where
but
this
a
young
lot
player
of kids
started.
who start almost a lot of
And
kids
this, hold on, he was born there. He was born there.
But that
But
is
this
the
young player is
point.
not
That
born
is the
there.
point, leader. If you're born in a place, you could start because a man can start all the way up because they may have started. They went to high school and all of those things because as you know, Ethan has his degree, so his pathway is different. Understand that? I am saying that this is a player that moved from Jamaica to England, sir. That is the difference. And I'm not trying to knock the player. Big up and sing, but I'm saying that I don't think a coach should be tracking a player at that level.
Anyway,
That
I
is
wasn't
just
meant
my
to read that. I'm just saying, anyway. Okay.
I think you are doing the right thing. You need to come and talk about the player every day.
Yeah, and I'm seeing it here. I'm just confirming. Yeah, where Ethan started, that is within the same region where Shakes is now. 7th and 8th. Yeah, man, it's around the same. So what we're
Listen,
is that
leader, what age was Ethan?
when he started there, you want me to give it that to?
1920.
I can't give it that to you if you want, you know.
I had Ethan. What age was Ethan?
Let me see. He was about 17, 18.
All right.
Oh, that, yeah.
And he spent
So it's a little bit as a player. Was born there.
So he
2 years year difference.
What?
Yeah.
So he played once. He said it on the program. One season, don't it? And from there, where he moved to? Straight to what? Straight to what?
No. He moved to
Forest Green Rovers.
what I'm saying, Holmesdale.
Forest Green Rovers.
Holmesdale and then Forest Green Rovers. No, he didn't move up like that, man. Don't worry, try that.
All right.
Don't worry, try that.
So this is the next Ethan Pinnock in the making, sir. Big up yourself.
He moved to the. He moved
All right,
to the.
sir. Leader. Make we just done a leader. Yeah, man.
No, hold on.
Leader.
Let me just make it clear.
Leader. We don't want to go. Leader. I concede. Shakes is the next Ethan Pinnock in the making. They're taking the same passer. Big up. What else we can say, leader?
You just don't want to. Can I just finish with my point?
Yeah, and Simon,
Let me
just
say a fact, a statement of fact. I'm close enough. Ethan moved from about 7th up to 5th, and then let me see where Barnsley was at the time after, and then he moved. He reached the 3rd after a number of years. It's a process. A lot of people do it, so don't knock the process. Let's see if
you
it
call
works
one
out.
player and you see a lot of people do it.
No, there are several. I just use the most prominent. That is nothing new. There are a whole heap of players that do the same thing. Some of them are actually, they start in the top leagues and they have to drop down to the lower leagues and then they rise up. Don't worry with that.
So give me that's a leader.
And these are players that are born there.
But that is the point, leader. Why would a player leave from Jamaica to go to the 8th tier?
And question, and if this player is way better than the 8th tier, and if in 2 years' time you see this player,
leader, if I have a player that is championship quality, why do I send him to the 8th tier when I can send him to other places in Europe? That is the question I'm asking you.
Oh boy. You know that it's just recently we have started to break back into the English market. Right?
No, man.
And it's
leader, this is what I'm asking, you know. I have a player that is championship quality. Why am I sending him to the 8th tier in England when there are other clubs across Europe that he could? You have in Macedonia where the Cephas them start. You have clubs in Belgium.
Not everybody. Sometimes
you have clubs in Belgium.
Hold on. I am sure that Shaman Nicholson would have probably preferred to be in England than going. But once you start a certain pathway, sometimes it's more difficult as you get age also. Kahim Paris, I know, could easily play in the championship. I'm convinced of that. But
hold on, leader. You are saying that when Kahim Paris left Jamaica, he could play in the championship?
I did not say that.
So what are you saying? So when No. So I'm talking about leader.
By the way, hold on. Let me use Kahim Paris as an example.
Leader, hold on. Leader. Hold on. I promised myself, right, that I wouldn't get into these back and forth. So I realize I'm going to get into that. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to let you say your piece, and then I'm going to let Simon. I'm trying to change how I operate, sir. And then I'm going to let Simon kind of respond. And then, so go ahead and make your point.
Okay, my point is, let me just use it. Okay, when Kahim Paris went away, he went to Damsel. Damsel, he wasn't at impressed to them. They dropped him down to a lower league club, Kirka, right? Kirka is in the Slovenian second tier, right? Which is really not that high at all. But he dominated it, right? He dominated in that league. And by the following year, he was able to move back up to that one. Then after another, I think, what was that now? Let me just say. After another year, literally a year and a little bit, he was, bam, Dino Kiev. A big move. Understand? So you can't knock the process. There's a process. Sometimes you start down small and then you grow. That's all I'm saying. It's proven. It has happened. There's a lot of England-born players do this. I'm almost sure Mikel Antonio, right? I don't want to go through all of them, but I know that I remember Ethan Pinnock right after the top, right? A lot of them do it. They drop down and then they rise. So and if that's the option instead of a player, it's not every player going to go to some of those countries, in other parts of Europe. Because not everybody like that atmosphere, right? Some of them prefer to try to go another pathway. So let's see how it works. Don't knock it. Let's try it and see. That's my part.
Simon, anything to say?
No. I understand what you said. The only thing I would clarify is that for some of those players that don't drop, it's just where their journey began. Like Mikel Antonio, he didn't drop from a Premier League team to Mitcham and Tooting. It's just where his journey began. That's the only thing I would clarify there. But apart from that, everything is fine. So some players, it's just where their journey begins. It's just where their journey begins. Not necessarily they drop to non-league or semi-pro. It's just something.
Right. So likewise, this might be where Young Sheikh's journey is going to be beginning. Well, he has already started at the JPL, so this might be where his journey begins. Let's see. 2 years' time, we might all be laughing about this and saying, hey, this looks like the new pathway that some guys can also take.
So Cavaliers don't have a system to develop a player like Sheikh's.
Sheikh's has been developed. He has been in the Premier League. He has passed through the whole system. Okay. It's not that, when I going to discuss that. You know how our thing goes. Anyway, that's just my little part. I didn't really even come on. It's just that you had asked for some info. I gave you the info.
All I'm saying, leader, is that when you come on here and tell me that Sheikh's played Premier League games for Cavaliers, tell me the game that Sheikh started for Cavaliers. Tell me the game. And what year?
He didn't start. I don't remember if he started any matches. I'm not sure. I know he has come on in numerous matches. I don't know about him.
Leader, tell me more than 5 games for Cavaliers that Sheikh came on as a substitute. More than 5. Tell me them. And tell me what hold on. Tell me what season. No, tell me what season in the Premier League he played. He came on as a substitute because he has never started for Cavaliers. This player that has already listen what I'm saying. This player that has been developed already and transferred to an 8-tier league team in England never started for Cavaliers. And in terms of subs, I don't believe this player has played 90 minutes of football for Cavaliers in total in the Premier League.
Well, I can't say. I don't think that's played that total. I don't think. Remember, hold on. Remember.
I got it. Leader, easy. Leader, the man has not. Leader, I get text message, leader, from impeccable sources. He has not played 90 minutes of football for Cavaliers. So let me ask you this, leader. Would Richard King, who I think is...
You can't use that. I don't think I use that.
What am I going to ask you?
Yeah, I'm going to ask if Richard King could start that same pathway. No. I'm sure that's what
Christopher
you're asking.
Ainsworth.
No.
Why?
Okay, the amount of Premier League matches that they have already gone through, they're at a different stage of their development.
So are they at a lower stage of their development or a higher stage of their development?
They're at a higher stage.
So Christopher
Way
Ainsworth,
higher.
listen to me now. Christopher Ainsworth, according to your reasoning and logic, Christopher Ainsworth in Jamaica, in the JPL playing, is at younger than this player. Christopher Ainsworth, younger than Shakes, is further ahead in his development than this player who is in the 8th tier in England. And then you're going to tell me, say, makes sense, leader?
No, listen to me now. Some players are a lot more serious about their training and the pathway that they want to take. So that's all.
So which one of these players are not serious? Ainsworth or Shakes?
Some of them are. Ainsworth has put in a lot more work. Let's just put it at that. So it's a different pathway. You can't knock it.
All right, boss. All right, leader. I get
Okay?
it. Yeah, man.
2 years time, let's see how it works. Okay?
So let me ask you this. If he continues on the trajectory that he's on for 2 years, and Ainsworth continues...
Let's say he continues the same trajectory as Ethan Pinnock.
No, mercy. No,
because
leader, you are not going to get me to compare any player that playing in Jamaica right now to Ethan Pinnock. Are developing Jamaica to Ethan Pinnock. I am not going to
say they're starting at the same place.
I am not. I am not going to compare none of these players with Ethan Pinnock, my boss. Do not do that to me. I'm comparing with Christopher Ainsworth.
I said of where they started. They are starting at a similar point.
Leader, I am comparing him to Chris. Listen what I'm saying.
No, you cannot. You cannot compare them.
You can compare him to. You can compare him to Ethan. Oh, so Ethan Pinnock, that's not different location than this player.
Compare Ethan Pinnock as a player, as I'm comparing to the pathway that.
So listen what I'm asking you. Listen what I'm asking you. On the pathway that Christopher Ainsworth is on, if he continues at the same rate for the next 2 years, and on the pathway that Shakes is on, if he continues with his development for the next 2 years, who you believe will have the higher ceiling after 2 years?
Well, Ainsworth definitely would. He'd get a jump over Shakes. He'd easily get a jump over Shakes, honestly.
Okay. Then argument done then, leader, man. Argument done then. We don't need to go no further, man. We don't need to go no further than leader, man. The argument done then, leader, man. Easy, the case done, leader. From you going to tell me that Ainsworth playing in the JPL, a younger player than this player, in 2 years' time of a higher ceiling than this player, then the argument done, leader. So if you watch anybody at Ainsworth, if you watch them, leader.
Hey, but hold on, look here.
Simon.
Hold on.
Leader, Simon.
Let me just say one thing here. Hold on.
Leader, Simon. Let me just say. Leader, Simon. Simon has to.
Okay.
Simon, I have to leave. So I'm going to allow him to leave and then let you say what you're saying and then I'll close. Go ahead, Simon, and tell the people you're leaving.
Yeah, I appreciate it. Thanks for having me on. I appreciate it to all the viewers. Yep, looking forward to seeing you all again, October 14 again. So, let's keep it going. Be positive, cheer on our reggae boys when they're at their respective clubs. And yeah, we'll be in touch, Mannings. Appreciate it.
Yeah, definitely. And tickets are on sale already, right?
Yeah, tickets are on sale right away. gff.quappy.com. Tickets are available. VIP $10,000, grandstand 5.5, and bleachers 1.5. So get them quite quickly because they
man. As usual, thank you, Simon. Really appreciate it. Check out Reggae Boys commentary, people, and show some love to Simon Preston. I will not, like I say, I will not tell you. You have to put some super stickers and super chats on the board if you want to hear Simon answers to some of the parish capitals in Jamaica. All right, Simon. Leader, you get to close the show.
Let me say something quickly.
Yeah.
You have Tooting and Mitcham United. You know that is a league that is lower than the league that Shake is in, right? Tooting and Mitcham United.
What is the point you're making?
No, I'm just saying, have you ever heard of that team?
Yes, Michael Antonio talked to me about it. So what is the point you're making?
Okay, and he was there at roughly around the same age that Shakes is going to his team that is one division above.
So hold on, leader. I am listen. I am not going to have any discussion with you where you are going to compare any player in those situations with Mikel Antonio and Ethan Pinnock. I want to compare him to Christopher Ainsworth. And if you have already convinced me that continue on the paths that they are on, Christopher Ainsworth has a way higher ceiling than this player. The argument is closed. I don't know what other point you'd want to make.
Play together, you know. The two of them have played together.
I don't want to know. So I am saying that Ainsworth has always been. Ainsworth is younger. Ainsworth has always been ahead of him. Ainsworth was starting when he wasn't starting. In 2 years' time, Ainsworth will be ahead of him. I don't need to discuss Mikel Antonio with that player and Ethan Pinnock, boss. I am not going to do it with you. So make your point and then we will close the show.
I am just talking about the level of the club. But anyway, we're not going to go. All we know is that Antonio moved from a 9th division club to a 3rd division club because it's quality shone. So let's see if this youngster's quality can shine.
Where did Mikel Antonio do academy? Where did he go? And all of those things. Why was he in that particular?
He did it at the same two teams, same place.
Listen what I'm saying.
That's where he did his academy.
So listen, leader. If I am born and raised in Riverton, it is very likely that my introduction to football would be for the academy right in the middle of Riverton. And I will probably play there. I am saying to you, according to you, a player that needs to be tracked is a player that has left Jamaica and gone to the 8th tier in English football. Right? Hold on. So you also are telling me about a player that is in Jamaica that is younger than this said player that you are talking about. And you're saying to me...
I didn't bring him up, you brought him up.
Yeah, I brought up the player. You're saying to me the player playing in Jamaica who is younger than the one gone overseas is more likely in 2 years' time to be further ahead in his football development than the player who has gone overseas. And you want me to carry a story or a narrative about the one over there as if it is a great story to think about and consider and to be tracked? It don't make no sense, leader. And then you're going to bring Antonio and Ethan Pinnock in the conversation.
I told of the pathway that those two players took similar level teams. And within a year, 2 years, they shut up to the level that they would have been at.
So, leader, you know when you're... I'm going to say it again, leader. Let me say it again, leader. If I'm born in Riverton, while Mount Pleasant may be the elite and Cavaliers may be the elite football places and Kingston Football Academy and Ballers, I may never be in Ballers and those places. All right?
Yeah, but you'd be seen as somebody at Cavalier.
So watch this now. When Mikel Antonio was seen, he moved 6 ranks. This player that you're this player that you're talking about to track was not seen by anyone and brought there, my boss.
No.
Okay, so argument not done then, man. Yeah, make it talk like someone see man said this player is talented and think let's bring him here. Big up yourself, you know, leader. You're real star. How the kids doing?
Over there, well, man.
And then you want to do it?
No, sir. Oh, God, man. No, sir. That's stop, man.
Okay.
I just mentioned the other ones answer, man. Look at that now. She in 10th grade to get ready for C-second thing, you know?
Oh, the track and field one or the football one?
No, man. None of my girls don't know the football, man. You crazy?
So what is crazy about a girl doing football? I don't understand you.
No, I couldn't deal with that, man. I couldn't deal with it as a parent. I don't know. For my boys, them have no problem, but for girls, I don't know. Some parents do that one that couldn't do that.
So you don't believe women should play football?
I didn't say that. I said everybody has their choice, but as a parent, I wouldn't want to be watching a match and then see somebody tackle my daughter away and then I'll kick her when she's on the ground. No, sir.
So women do that in the football?
Of course.
Okay, so you want them and tackle your son and kick him though? When the money grow?
My son them know how the thing go.
Oh, so your daughter would not know this.
I've seen it. Anyway, we're not discuss that.
Big up yourself, leader. You're the greatest. Big up yourself. Have a good day, my friend.
Yeah,
man.
Same
Thanks
to
for
you,
calling.
sir.
Yeah, man. Blessings.
Yeah, man. Okay.
All right, people. Arsenal is going to play 14 minutes to go and prepare for the Arsenal game. Thanks for joining the show, for being a part of the show. I am Mannings. This has been I Am Sure Sports as usual. It's always a pleasure having your company on the platform. We're like 95 likes right now. So if possible, and you have not yet liked the stream, could you please do so we can go over 100 likes. All right. Remember, tomorrow is Super Friday. We have a next shirt that we want to give away. And this time it's a Premier League team shirt from a player. And again, if you want the player to sign it once they're here in the next window, we'll have that done for you. But have yourself a blessed and wonderful, wonderful, wonderful day. And be positive, live positive, stay positive, and give positive energy. Again, as usual, when it comes to the end of the show, what's the prediction for Arsenal game? Arsenal 2, Atalanta 0. We say we are over and we are out of here.
Boom, check it out. I don't know it's Jason. I'm a represent for I Am Sure Sports. For the latest news and updates, check out I Am Sure Sports. Make sure you go to the YouTube channel, subscribe and share. Jace representing I Am Sure. I Am Sure Sports.